Sri Lanka is one united nation again and fast on its path to a new future. A future for which a generation of Sri Lankans have paid for dearly, some with the ultimate sacrifice. The Sri Lanka Rupawahini Corporation, being the premier television network in Sri Lanka, considered it our duty to be actively involved in the formulation of that future. Thus, we bring you Checkmate, the stories of some extraordinary people who have gone that extra mile, set out that extra hour to achieve success in very ordinary circumstances, so that you too may be encouraged to aspire for such greatness. Checkmate, a new Sri Lanka, together we can. Hello everyone and welcome to another program of Checkmate. We at Checkmate have been very fortunate to have invited and had amongst us as our guests the creme de la creme of Sri Lanka's professionals mostly. As you know, our production team takes meticulous care in selecting whom we invite, because it goes very much with the ethos of Checkmate that we want to archive in Sri Lanka Rupawahini Corporation for our future generations the best of our professionals, those who have gone that extra mile to make something more out of their lives in their particular careers, so that the future generations coming will have it for posterity's sake. They'll have it saved that they can watch, learn, emulate in their quest to make a better Sri Lanka in this new future that we have now been given. And tonight is yet another such great in another one of our areas, and that is of foreign affairs and Sri Lanka's foreign policy. As you know, several commentators argue that Sri Lanka's introduction into foreign diplomacy and international affairs lies in epic environs. In fact, Dr. Vernon Mendis argues that in his book that with the advent of Buddhism, with Arahat Mahinda, which was a diplomatic mission sent by the mighty Emperor Asoka of the Mauryan dynasty, and from then up to now, Sri Lanka has played a pivotal role, particularly in our golden years or the non-aligned years during the heightened Cold War in Sri Lanka's foreign relations. These men and women, while safeguarding and protecting Sri Lanka's strategic interests and our geopolitical concerns, they've also managed to play an important role in the international sphere, thus taking Sri Lanka onto the world platform. So, we have today, and we are privileged to have, one such person who has been very much in the forefront in our golden years of foreign relations. She has, amongst several other things, she's been a graduate at Oxford. She's gone on to Cambridge thereafter after recruitment. We will speak more about it as we go on, but amongst several things, she has this distinct capability and distinct quality that makes her ideal with the Checkmate ethos, and that is that she happened to be Sri Lanka's first woman career diplomat. It is our pride to have in our studio tonight Mrs. Manel Abesekara. I want Mrs. Abesekara, welcome to Checkmate.
Thank you so much.
We start all stories at the advent of our guest in your formative, first few years. You were an old girl at Methodist College.
Yes.
Maybe you'd like to start off, and you were also very close to your family. Your father was a civil servant. Maybe you'd like to speak a little bit about your young years.
Before that, I'd like to thank you for your very kind words and for including me in this august group that you have been interviewing. It's a great privilege for me too.
It's an honor.
Now, Methodist College you mentioned. Well, the thing I value most about my school is that I learned more than lessons. I learned about life and about how to live it and be friends with everybody, irrespective of who they were, what social status they were, and what ethnic group or whatever they might be. all human beings, and we all, Methodist College was really well known for that. Even when the girls went up to the university, they mixed so well with everybody. Nothing snooty about old Metho, as I say. So this stood me in good stead in later life, when you have to mix with so many people, not only of your country, but of other countries. And the same story, that
Speaking
all
of
other...
Methodist College, Ms. Abhisekar, you were also, in addition to you, as a first woman career diplomat, Metho also have produced several other first women people, haven't they?
One was the first woman in the trade service, and the third one was the first woman in
the banking sector.
Banking sector, as a chairman of a bank.
So speak to us. You were very close to your father, who was also a civil servant, a well-respected civil servant, and your dear mother, who by the way, I must say that I'm very thankful to our guest for sending me this book, a few pictures of which our production team will be sharing with you lately. But this is wonderful reading, if not for anything else. You can go through our guest's career, entire career, her trials, her tribulations. Madam Sir. Madam Sir is the title of the book, and I've managed to pick up a lot about you by going through this. But this speaks of your young age as a child. You were very close to your family. You want to speak a little bit?
Yeah, and maybe you're interested to know that the title came from my Thai chauffeur when I landed there. That is right. Instead of his having always a male Sir. Now, my parents were... I've said in my book that I'm writing this not for any kudos or anything, but as a Christian, to honor my God, and also my parents, to whom I owe so much. Mother was, they both filled me with love and kindness and care, and mother, of course, was a disciplinarian. Father thought I should study and that kind of thing. And I wanted to walk in his footsteps, but where? I couldn't. The good old British system, women were not allowed.
Well, we are going to talk in our second segment on how you changed all that, and how you changed the system, where you got women included in that. But then we go on to your education. You were then sent to Somerville in Oxford, where you are now an honorary fellow. They've honoured you by making you a fellow. But speak to us a little bit about that era, because in your book you say that at the time that you were at Oxford, that was a time that people like our dear departed, your friend, Mr. Lakshman Kadirgam, MP, President's Council, and Lalita Athuratpudi, they were presidents of the Union.
That's right.
How did it feel for you as a Sri Lankan youth, sitting there, hearing these people, knowing that these people were presidents of this Union? Tell us a little bit about that youth that you had at Oxford.
Well, actually, Lalit was junior to me, and we were great pals. And Lakshman, of course, was there for postgraduate studies. So I didn't know him that well, but I used to go to his house, and we had a lot of interaction. And I was privileged to be, of course, not only here, but there too. Women are not allowed in the...
at the Senate, the Union.
In the actual hall. We have to be in the gallery. So I watched both of them make them maiden speech as presidents from the gallery.
That's president of the Oxford Union.
Yes.
Were they immediately one after the other, or were there...
No, there was quite a bit of a gap. And I was lucky to have been there because the course was 3 years. So it would have been about that time, and I must have stayed on a bit more, something like that, before I went on, came back to Colombo.
You read history at Oxford.
That's right.
And then after appointment, we're going to talk about your appointment later, but very quickly, after your appointment, you also then thereafter went to Cambridge to learn languages. I think you studied Italian.
Yes.
You already knew French by then.
Yes, I had to know French for my history degree, but for entering Oxford, I had to send up a blank paper, but once I was there, I had to pick it up. Anyway, Cambridge was really the brainchild of Mr. Bandanayake. Not only Cambridge, all of us were sent to British universities to study the language assigned us and also other things. We were not told specifically, but we had to learn what we thought would be useful to our service, like